It is 7 o'clock and I'll call the meeting to order. Are there any additions or deletions from the agenda?
We need to add the warrants because I didn't write them.
Oh, yeah. I'll make a motion that we add warrants to item 13A.
Second that.
Motion is made by Matt, seconded by Jamie to add the warrants to item 13A. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And in terms of the meeting progress, I would like to have a really brief executive session just for legal property things, very short.
Okay.
Okay. And we probably have a personnel conversation to have as well.
Okay, then it'll be a truck. I had to.
Do that.
All right. The next item is the minutes of the previous meeting. Make a motion to approve.
Let's see, and that would be the minutes from the August 4th and the August 11th meeting, on my recollection.
Correct.
So I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the August 4th Select Board meeting and the August 11th Select Board meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve the minutes of August 4th and August 11th. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Aye. Motion carries. Now, the next item on the agenda is public comments, and that's for anyone in the room or on the Zoom call, which I don't think there are any, who wish to speak on an item that's not already on the agenda. And why don't we start with you, and then we'll keep it. I'm going to pass this out. He handed them to me.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
I'm Roger Hanson, the Northshire Coordinator for Window Dressers. A brief overview. We take wooden frames that are cut in Maine because it's a Maine organization. And we assemble them into an insert that goes on the interior of a drafty window. And it's like an additional storm window type installation. The information I handed out was the previous year's bills and how many, what it costs us, and how many were special rates. Now, special rates are where people pay either a reduced or no price at all for their inserts. Inserts vary on size and complexity. Basically, they're either rectangular or square. Some of them have a strut in the middle if they're over 4 foot tall or wide. But we're requesting a donation from the town to help cover our expenses. We fundraise to generate this money for the cost of the special inserts.
You've done some for this one.
There's,
Yes,
We have this one in the back hall.
and in the storage closet, there's 4.
Yep, they're
And
in,
the bathroom downstairs has.
they're in the commons, they're in. I don't think there's any in the library. I think there's some in Bailey Hall. But as you can see, we've got many here in town.
Mhm.
Right now, Southshire, which is the southern half of Bennington County, does the bulk of our fundraising that we use here. Window Dressers does contribute some. And it's all volunteer assembly. Nobody here in Arlington gets paid for anything that we do.
Roger, how much are you asking for? Second question.
The town of Sunderland gave $500. I believe Manchester gave the same last year. And I think East Dorset donated some, but I don't know that.
I think we could cover the donation with, or out of the building maybe, because that's what we're going for.
Yeah, because I don't think we.
Town hall maintenance.
That was done the first.
No, we did
those
this
in
month. We could do
2021.
it that way, and then put it together. A suggestion is maybe petition it to be put on in the appropriation.
Yes.
And ask for a specific amount, but that's March.
Yes.
Those have to be in, I think signatures have to be in January.
Okay.
Do you have a projection on how many customers you'll have this year?
Well, right now, if everybody who has requested gets measured and signs up, we're going to be about 280 inserts, which is
Okay.
about 30.
That's a
over
good jump.
That's a big jump.
What we intend to do. It will probably be closer to 220, 230, because not everybody takes what they're requesting.
Understood.
Is this Arlington people?
No, it's Bennington County. Yeah, and we will stretch that a bit if it's particularly if you want to. Yep. Because this
Well,
is.
and you did the construction one year.
Around.
This is.
Was it
this
in
is what we have
2001? Did
done.
they do it with the Commons or something? I remember Nick
Somewhere.
coordinating that somewhere in Arlington.
2021, they were, I don't know if they were built right close by, maybe in the
Yeah,
common.
2 years ago, we did them in the Legion.
On the Legion, that was it.
Where we're doing them again this year. Last year was in Manchester, it's Congregational Church.
Okay.
But there's a website, windowdressers.org. And you go on there and there's all the information to sign up, windowdressers.org. And we're the Northshire, Bennington County, Northshire is what's done here. But this year is probably a little late to get signed up, but try it and then you're on the list.
So I have one more question for you, sir.
Sure.
Do you have an estimate of how many prospective customers applied from Arlington? Okay. The data person, you know, I'm
I don't have. that
working on my numbers in the back of my head.
I don't have that information. Someone else does.
Gotcha, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I also don't have, I'm not privy to the information on who gets assistance.
Mhm.
That's all very good.
All right, I think it's a
Good cause.
worthwhile thing, a good cause, and can help our residents
Yeah.
keep their utility bills down for the winter months. So I would, make a motion that we approve a one-time donation to the window dressers in the amount of $600 to be pulled from the discretionary fund balance.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to donate $600 to the Window Dressers Organization and be pulled from the, what was the name of the?
Discretionary fund.
Discretionary. Any discussion?
Could I just ask, how the check should be made out?
Got that.
Okay, you need to write it down for me.
Any other
Those are the
discussion?
details that we need you for.
Exactly. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye.
Can you write the address down for the check too, please?
I'm on it.
Nice.
And if you want, I can screenshot that and email.
I got it. The analog way.
That always works.
It's much quicker.
Between Cynthia and Janet, they keep us on task. Everything. And
I can forward that.
highly recommend. I mean, it is, I think it has helped a lot of people in Bennington County and definitely as we come towards town meeting day, you know, to Dan's suggestion, petition for an
That way you
appropriation.
have, at least, once it's petitioned for an amount. Yes,
It's there. Yeah.
It's
It's
there.
there. If you want to increase that amount, then you put re-petition it.
We discussed that as a group, that this year we wanted to do this way, so we had,
I don't think it's a heavy lift to get it on the ballot.
no, I don't believe
And,
so.
Well, if it's under a
what's
certain
working in your
amount.
favor is that it's benefiting the
It's
community.
important to everybody.
I don't think you'll have any trouble.
It goes into the lump group. It's
No,
under a certain amount, doesn't it?
Yeah. And they also work in the summertime, keeping the heat out.
Yep.
Because
That makes sense.
much as it doesn't let the cold in the winter, it keeps.
Yeah, it upgrades that area.
Yep.
Makes sense. Excellent.
Good.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Roger.
this fall.
Thanks, Roger.
All right. Is there any other, public comment? Yes, just identify yourself for the
Sure.
record.
Sure.
Our assistant. on the Zoom.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Hyatt, and I live on Raven Rock Road, very end of Raven Rock Road, and I'm here concerned about the proposed right of way and road that the Boltons have that you've been discussing. I'm here in solidarity with my neighbors who were all deeply concerned about the impact that would have on our property value and our quality of life. And I just put together a couple thoughts that I would love to share with you. I've lived on the property now for 22, going on 23 years. And I bought that property because it was pristine, beautiful. And with the road, there's a beautiful stream that runs through the property. It's got brook trout and there's wildlife. It's so beautiful. It's become a sanctuary to me. I've renovated the house. I've developed gardens. I've landscaped. I've invested a lot of love and money and time into the property. And the proposed right of way, if this road were to be approved by the select board and to go forward, would literally run directly through my front yard over the stream, so close to my house that the construction of it, the logging that would have to take place, the lasting impact would like absolutely destroy all the pleasure I take in living on that property. The road would be as close to my front door as like a pitcher is to a catcher on a baseball field. So that's a quality of life issue, but it's not just a quality of life issue for me. It's also a property value issue as well. As you know, a road going through your property significantly impacts your property value. I don't want to speak for my neighbors, but I feel like we've all taken a significant hit to our property value because of our adjacency to our neighbor Jim Davis and by proxy the Holtzmans. If you see that property, it is being used for lack of a better word, and also has served as a septic tank company. And we could go on and on and on about how our goodwill has been exploited by this individual. But the main issue is that how this road would definitely destroy my property value. I would personally not want to live there anymore. I don't know how I would even sell the house with the road that close to my house. I guess my need, could I just make a couple more?
I have a question for you, but
Sure.
that's fine.
Because from our understanding, the Holtzmans have two potential other points of access to their property. There's one that goes through right away on Fisher Road. It's a straight shot to the lower plot that they want to develop. And I'm not here to object to any of that development. They also have another point of access that goes up to the top plot from the end of Red Mountain Road. They have a road that's very well established that goes up to a gazebo and you can come down. So the fact that they already have 2 points of access to their from Fisher Road and from Red Mountain Road, I think should be taken into consideration. I question the need to disturb the tranquility and property value of a quiet dead end neighborhood when they already have access other ways, and they just want a shortcut to save money. It's telling that they're on their fourth firm. The first firm, which is how I found out about the development, Nance Engineering out of North Bennington. That engineer, Chris Pinessi, who was very nice and was the only reason I knew what was going on, shared with me that they couldn't get anybody local to even take on the job because of what it would do to. They saw what it would do. And I invite all of you to come. I would love to show you around the property and show you the impact to what it would do to the three of us, especially right in my front yard and the stream, which looks like an innocent little babbling stream, but during Irene and during some of these big flood events, that stream takes a sharp turn and has washed into Jim Davis's house. It has washed out it would wash out a road eventually. So that's another issue. Lastly, my neighbor Bruce, who's also planning on speaking tonight, has done quite a bit of research on the surveys. And this proposed right of way, he has some pretty compelling evidence that calls into question that right of way and where exactly it comes out on Raven Rock Road. Love, it's probably not the appropriate time, but we'd love a chance to present that information in those maps for your consideration. Holtzmans and their lawyers and their engineering firms have had the opportunity to present to all of you, and we have not. So I just respectfully ask that we be able to have a voice at the table and share that information with you. And I'll just close by saying that I love where I live. Bruce's family's been on that mountain and in that area since the 1800s. None of us want to move. None of us want to lawyer up. We just want to live our quiet lives in our beautiful homes. And, we will lawyer up if we have to. We don't want to. We're just here to simply ask for your support and protection.
So I walked up to look at it because I needed to get the lay of the land. and
I hear
so
you live in our neighborhood.
You,
You
yeah,
live on
and
that
I
road?
was the one that was lurking around the road like a couple weeks ago as I was walking up there with my
Yeah.
notebook.
You should come back on our dinner.
I-
Yeah, we'll show you
I
around.
don't unless I'm invited, so
You're
I
invited.
just trying to understand. So I hit the end of Raven Rock and it kind of goes up to a house.
That's mine. I'm
That's
in the blue
yours,
house.
okay, and then there's another driveway,
That's his.
that's yours. Okay, that helps me out, and you're
I'm
off of
on
Kelly Lane.
Kelly Lane.
Yeah, but you're posted on,
On-
because it
all
borders
the way around.
Raven Rock.
That
Okay.
right of way would be a sharp left turn at the base of my driveway.
Yeah, I
Between
looked
my
at it.
house and Jim Davis's house,
It's
right?
tight between.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
sharp
And
turn.
it would actually cut a quarter of
And
the
it would
garden,
come-
a corner of the Gardner property.
Yes,
Right.
But
yes.
And we
Okay.
do need to look at maps and everything again, but
It
probably
just
not
helps
the
me
right
to
time.
visually
Yeah.
understand where everybody is, so
Yeah.
that I had to take a walk up there, but I'm Kate Fox's old house.
Great, yeah.
Right
That's
there.
right, yeah. That's a nice
Shadows
place.
house. I still refer to it as.
So we're the three people who it would
Okay,
impact.
no, and it helps me understand
Yeah.
where everything is as I visualize, so thank you.
If I could just comment, for the sake of the record and anyone who's interested, the town is, engaging legal advice in this situation, and we aren't able to move forward with hearing or planning anything until we get that advice. So we have not made any decisions. If we hold a hearing, everybody will have an opportunity to present and have their voices heard. It's good, but it's good to hear from you guys in this informal way, but everybody, will have the maps and everything, and we will let you guys know, when that might.
And we would definitely have to have it here.
Yeah, if
Oh,
we're
yes,
gonna, if we're
absolutely.
gonna decide,
Definitely
whatever we're
have to have
gonna,
a hearing.
whatever we're gonna decide, we have to have it
Yeah,
here.
a couple.
Yep.
If they do get the right of way to put the road through there, can they upgrade it to a class 3?
I can't even speculate on that. I mean, we really need to have legal advice as to what is the true situation of the facts on the ground and what are the town's rights and obligations. And I don't believe any of us can speak to that right now. And I know how frustrating that is, but I don't want to give you the wrong information.
No, I understand. And if they do go through there, they take 2 of our survey posts. It's gonna be right through where my survey posts are.
That's right. I mean, there would be major logging, there would be, it would be so devastating.
And we went through the logging thing when everybody thought it was lead lot. And we
Oh,
found
that was
out
awful.
since then it is not. Thank God.
That's another
It was
issue point of, who would do the logging? Is it the same
I hope not.
questionable characters who you had issues with before? We had to replace our whole water system.
But I would also, I've spoken to Mr. Fleming about this in casual conversation, and I would encourage him to contact John Wright directly, the surveyor who surveyed we have, if he has any reason to see things differently in terms of exactly where the road is.
And you did, right?
I did. Yeah, I discussed.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to discuss Lee Black Road also. The road is 208 years old as of right now. And it's still a topic of conversation. Yeah, I went to with to the town to visit, Nick Ziak, or I think it was in February. I had come up with some facts with my own research. I'm a retired registered land surveyor from New York. And I brought up another location, not too far away, but.
Not on my land, is it?
Well,
South of Jim.
I mean, the road, the Glebe Lot Road description, there's no way around. The last course is 1,660 feet on a straight line out. You can't, argue with the description. It's just how that orientation exists. And I noticed on the John Wright map, he shows part of the old road bed, but what he has come up with parallels it and is not even included in it. So I located all the way up the mountain with a GPS handheld when the leaves were off. And you can conclusively say that the old roadbed is very close to what Glebe Rock Road is, even down fairly close where it turns. So I went over that with John. And I had something here I was going to read. Will you allow me?
Sure.
I live at the end of Raven Rock Road, where the proposed location of Glebe Rock Road that is mapped and filed with the town of Arlington, prepared by Nance Engineering, intersects with Raven Rock Road. Over the years, I have known of 4 separate locations of Glebe Rock Road, including my own driveway. As a former licensed land surveyor, I felt the need to do my own research, verifying the location of Glebe Rock Road. I have recently met with John Wright with Nance Engineering, suggesting to him another credible location of Glebe Rock Road based on research that I have done. And I think interested parties should review before any final decisions are made. A question I had for TCE, that's the company that's handling it right now, is if they have done their own independent research on a location of Glebe Rock Road. And I kind of overlap here. My concerns include the current map location of Glebe Rock, encroaching on the 1/2 acre property belonging to Jennifer Hyatt, the right of way within 50 feet plus or minus from the front of her house, and is joining the fronted stream frontage for approximately 100 feet. And as a side note, I would add that the stream is a perennial Red Mountain cold water stream with brook trout that contributes to the well-being of the Batten. And as a separate related issue, I want to begin working with the town of Arlington on discontinuing the part of Glebe Rock Road east of Raven Rock Road that goes across four properties. My property, my brother's property, Novik's, and the Picciones, the way it is mapped out now. And the part of Raven Rock Road that goes through the Hyatt property to my property. I tried to get that discontinued about 20 years ago, and they wouldn't because they thought Raven Rock Road was part of Glebe Rock Road, but we definitely proved that that's not the case now. So I think that's about it. What I wanted to say.
Okay. Anyone else?
And I do have, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I do have stuff that I researched
Okay.
at some point.
Yeah. That would, all of that information is worthy of noting and considering.
It's just a consideration. I'm not
Yeah.
against development or, you know.
None of us are
increasing
opposed to the
tax base.
development.
Uh,
We just don't want millionaires making a shortcut through our property.
Understood.
Yeah, especially when they got two other ways to move. I mean, yeah. It's what it comes down to.
I think this gentleman,
Both.
Sorry. My name's Alice Kelly. I live at 67 Covered Bridge Road. So I'm here to talk about my fence and the Covered Bridge area. I know the town is promoting people going to the bridge and swimming, and that's great. But things have changed. I got attacked on my front yard by a drunk, and I built a fence. I think any rational person would think that'd be a reasonable response if you get attacked in your front yard. The town, now I've received a letter from the town, pretty broad in scope. You guys want not only the fence removed, you want the logs removed that have been there for years, and even string tied to tomato stakes that are trying to keep people off my property, and protect myself. You know, I didn't want a fence. You know, I've always been very accommodating, but I really just don't have a lot of choice at this point. Now, I understand now the public setback is, every time you guys talk to me, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I did a quick little thing, if that's the reason for this request. I went around up and down all of River Road and all of 313. These are all of the fences. Here's the stack of the ones that are compliant. Here's the stack of the ones that are not compliant. So if it's about, here's your data. If you're talking about compliance, absolute compliance with your ordinance, well, there's the data. You know, in terms of aesthetics, if that was the problem, I tried to make it look as nice as possible. That first one, I didn't have a number on. It's the road right across from.
This one?
It's right across from St. Great.
I see that. I see them on
If it's aesthetics, I did my best to make it very pleasing. I made it look just like a horse fence. And used raw wood. Within another couple of weeks, it would be sunburned and you won't even notice that that was never there. If water is the problem and drainage, well, the fence is above the ground. The water will drag right underneath it. The only thing I can really come to, the reason, the rationale behind this extremely broad letter is that you guys want to, you know, illegally promote public access across public land or private land. You know, I just think it's an unreasonable burden for me to assume the liability for every drunk the town attracts that stumbles across my property. It's a lot for me to deal with. You know, I'm not looking for problems here. I didn't ask for what's happened here. You know, I think that most of you don't realize what's going on down there. Things happen, you know, everybody says, oh, it's been that way forever. It's not the way it was forever. We have more and more people, and you know, after years of picking up dirty diapers and tampons and beer bottles, there's increasing numbers of belligerent drunks that are increasingly violent. You know, they're doing, they're come home, they're all plugged into the side of my house, blowing up the wraps. I have people sitting on my back deck. I have people walk in my front door to use the bathroom. I mean, it's just getting kind of beyond the point of saying enough's enough. The town has also promoted that by you put a porta potty down there. I don't know if there's a.
It's not us.
Well, I don't know. Is there a permit for that? There's also overflowing garbage. That was last year. This year, there's overflowing garbage cans. This was the week before last. This is today. I mean, this is a different area now than it once was. And I'm not complaining. I love that people go down. I love seeing people outside enjoying the outdoors. I just think it's an unreasonable burden that you place on the neighbors. And, you know, I just can't look the other way when somebody attacks me on my yard. I mean, I don't know if any of you have ever.
No, as you know, I was there that day. I came to check on you first. I went to check on the other individual.
And I don't think anybody's disputing that the fence looks okay. It's just the placement of it. It needs to be, so by state law, the town has a 50-foot total right of way. That is basically 25 feet from the center line of the road back. Nothing can be placed in that area. And if there is, they need to petition the town and the highway to see if they're able to do that, if I'm not mistaken. So, you see the piles though.
Yes, I've been there. I've been
I hear
there.
the rhetoric, I'm showing you the data of the way it really is in the world.
So I haven't gone through that, but I will tell you that I know several people down there that did fences, did go and get a permit and ask for permission to set them right up the road, the other side of the culverts and the ditching, so it's out of that area that the town needs to work in. And I think that is the biggest concern in the fact that it comes up inside the abutment area of the bridge.
I hate to be,
So-
and I don't mean to be combative, Jamie.
Yep.
But your buddy, your brother-in-law is the one that makes the complaints. And I don't mean to undermine your authority, but I frankly believe that you should recuse yourself from this decision because of your brother-in-law, who is the main complainant. And I can guarantee that's the plan. And I'm sorry, and I please.
Yep, no, not that I'm aware of, but I will, if you want me to step back, I can absolutely do that.
I think I appreciate you
Don't-
coming and giving us your information, and thank you for speaking with us on this. I think
Oh, I'm not
going,
done, sir.
going forward, you should contact Wilmington, Campbell, Benton, Stasny to discuss that further.
I feel like these people were heard out for their issue.
But you can continue on. I'm just letting you know, we're happy to continue to listen to you.
I apologize if you feel that I'm.
No, continue on. I'm just letting you know that for direct response from those, you'll have to contact our attorney's
I
office.
think our town and the public should understand what's going on here. I'm a 58-year-old man who came home on a Sunday afternoon after work and had a couple drunk guys, large drunk guys, 25 years younger than me, 75 pounds heavier than me. And they came after me. They left, they came all the way back and came at me. I had to defend myself. Luckily, I'm not in trouble. That individual is now being charged with unlawful trespass. But that's a pretty high burden to get someone trespassed, to have to be attacked by that person. I see you roll your eyes like that's not significant. To me, it's life-changing for me. I never used to even lock my doors. And now I lock the doors when I'm home. I won't open the door unless I look out the window to see if anybody's there. It's a real thing. And I'm not, I'm 58. I'm not some young guy.
Some of the even peace there. Guys are yelling.
I know where you live, ML. Next time I won't be on foot. I'm gonna burn your house down is the other one. Then the cops kept saying, oh, that's just freedom of speech. It's pretty significant. And then the guy goes, I hope your homeowner's insurance is up to date. So that's a direct threat. So my point being is, if you want it back 20 feet, and I'm sorry, Jamie, I'm sorry that sounded wrong. I really, please don't take that as, but if you want the fence back another 20 feet of my yard, it's just inviting, I'm better off without a fence because that's just inviting people.
It's a total of 25 feet from the center of the road. If it is set back 25 feet, which is probably about 8 or 10 feet beyond where you are right now.
I've measured it. That would be about 15 to 20% of my entire yard. It will also provide a definable corridor for people to walk right to the beach and walk down there. It'll no longer be an impediment to people infringing on private property, which not only do I pay taxes for that property, but I'm also liable for that. I'm liable. And you guys are, and I think it's wonderful you're promoting access to the river, but if you want to promote access to the river, why doesn't the town buy buy a piece of property instead of forcing it across private citizens who live in fear now. You know, this is not a joke. You know, I think anybody would build a fence, but if I can't have a fence, I mean, if it's 20 feet back, sorry. If it's 20 feet back, you understand, that's just gonna provide, that's, because you're saying 25 feet, the road there,
25 from the center.
the
of
road's 10 feet wide, so it's 20 feet into my property. It would be significant. It would be a corridor, you know, from that table there, just with nothing. I mean, people are all gonna use that all day long, and I'm liable for that. And it's growing and growing. You know, I'll move it, but I hope I think you have what, a 2.5% compliance according to my
So anything on 313, that is state responsibility.
Well, that's the only one that complies, is on 313. So you have a 0% compliance on River Road, 0%.
Unless they have been here and gotten permission for it ahead of time.
Well, I would submit that the vast majority of those people do not have that permission. So it would seem to be biased, discriminatory, capricious, you know. Listen, I'm not looking for problems.
It seems to be two separate issues that are kind of colliding at your property.
Yes.
One is the right of way that the town has is the free broad right of way, 25 feet from center line growth. And the town needs that space to maintain the travel way. So drainage, you know, whatever. So anything that's built in the right of way without permission, and we have other locations in town where we've had the problem, can be very problematic with plows, with ditching, with all kinds of different things. So the right of way issue is long established by the state.
I understand that.
The other issue that's colliding with it, or it needs to battle, is the rivers are owned by all of us.
Yeah.
And the state allows access along the rivers.
Not on private property, they don't, sir.
There's general access is guaranteed by the state laws.
But there's an access right across the bridge. So there is an access, and people can access my beach. They can walk right underneath the bridge. There's a path under there. They can go right to, I'm not walking off the beach. So I hear what you're saying, but
But the fence goes along the road and it also goes along the river.
at the high water mark, I spoke with the Fish and Game gentleman. He came, looked at the area, and he said that it was perfectly acceptable where I had that.
Okay.
You moved it back.
I did, and I
It was in a
respectful.
stream at one point, right up against the stream.
This was directly after the attack, and I am sorry if it was a very tough
Your
situation.
sign, no trespassing, was farther back to begin with. That, including going down the path, which has been there for 170 years, you had a sign farther back. Now you've got it right up to the retaining wall,
Well, we owned the retaining wall.
the wing wall. You don't own
We
that wing wall.
also have a right of way around the retaining wall to maintain the bridge.
I understand what you're saying, but there's the real world here. There is access there, and I'm willing to work with you. But to say that string tied to tomato stakes are an impediment to the plows and the road workers, that seems a little excessive. I mean, Jamie, you said yourself that the town knew about the logs for a long time, and they were totally okay with the logs. So suddenly now the logs are no good.
And you and I had discussions about the logs and water access off the road, et cetera.
And that's why I dug under the log, so there was water access. I made sure the fence there's nothing underneath it. And I'm willing to,
And the other thing we did try to help you out with is by putting up the no parking signs down through there as well.
well, you
So
told me
that-
you did that for yourself for the fire.
Well, I did
access, so
that
you could get
for
by.
fire access, but that also protects you too.
It does, and thank you.
And
So that
because
wasn't
that
done
keeps
for us.
a lot of vehicles off that side of the road. It also makes an access for emergency services, which have been to your location, not while you've had it, but, we've been there a few times, and so that was when
Excuse me,
that
sir,
was.
are you, I feel really,
I'm taking a note.
okay, I apologize, I'm sorry, I just seen it in very. So,
Can I ask something about my posted sign? I don't know, Raven Rock, I posted, you probably saw them right there, and then there's the river. I own to the Raven Rock, but should I put them posted signs on the other side of the river? The brook? Because of the right of
There would be
way.
the right of way from the center line of the road back, but
Yeah.
But the stream is
But
not under
this-
the same public
is
access rules
not.
as the
As-
Batten Hill. The
because
Batten Hill is a navigable stream.
Right, that's the word,
So the
navigable
stream,
stream.
you own both sides of the stream right there. I don't know where the right of way is. I don't know the answer to that.
But if that right of way were to go through my property that you're telling me, there's another 25 feet of it.
From the center line of
From
that
the
right
center
away.
line of the road, 25 feet.
That's my entire yard. That's my entire yard.
So like Red Mountain Road, I mean, really, they could come and help rearrange my furniture in my living
And there are
room.
different width
Yeah.
right of ways too.
If the right of way, I mean, that's 25 more feet. Like, I don't have any property left.
I'm not sure
Okay.
what Raven Rock Road is, but there's also varying widths of that.
There are, because it's a 2 rod or a 3 rod, right,
So
Dan?
it's from the center, 25 feet on either side of the central element. So,
So
and
It's
you don't own the property, but the town has some ability to control, influence what happens there. Dan,
Yes.
could I suggest that,
Yep.
Mr. Kelly consider petitioning the town to install the fencing that he considers necessary in his property? And then the board could consider that petition in the usual way?
Yeah, I think that's
That's a good-
probably the right way to go with that.
that's where I'm coming for guidance. I swear to God, I'm not looking for problems. I just want a little slice of my life here, where I can go home, feel safe. Be left alone, you know,
I know the feeling. We know the feeling.
Seems to be a
I mean, just wait till
Yeah.
somebody shows up, when a bunch of drunks show up and attack you physically, it's so amazing how your life will change. And I'm on your side.
But I also think it's worth noting that the town does not own the church property or the bandstand or any of that property there. That is owned by the church and the Grange. So we do not control what happens on that property. We have the recreation park access, the state, well, and that's actually state too. And then the state access further down and
Fishing access.
the fishing access, yeah.
So who do you want me to petition? No, that's,
The select
Town
board,
Arlington.
town of Arlington.
so who is that? The
That's
town?
the
That's
town
this
of
board
Arlington
right here.
Select Board.
Arlington Select Board,
That's you guys right now?
yes.
So how do I petition you? I'm petitioning, you. What do I do? I have to write it down?
In
It needs to be in writing.
In writing, a sketch is helpful. We have to verify measurements and everything, but yeah.
How is that gonna affect the access down to the beach? It's been there for, like I said, 175 years.
That's why we have to consider the request and then with advice and consent, it may not, we still have to have, there's 2 right-of-way issues. One is the abutment and one is the road. So those have to be kept clear so we can access and maintain
Was there an
where
easement
the
on
cable
that?
connections are for the bridge and the
Because we have
abutments.
to be able to get
To
equipment and
maintain
everything in
those.
there.
But that
All of
doesn't
that
mean
stuff.
public access, that people have the free reign to walk back.
It actually does.
It does.
According to our legal advice, we have the right of way along the road and from the center of the bridge out the abutments, and the abutments kind of come out, so it's not as much. But that does give the town the right of way to access that area to do repairs on the abutment. And it does give the public the right of way to walk into the river. That is the legal advice that we received.
So I can park on anyone's front yard then within that.
For the most, yes,
area.
by law.
By law, so I can throw dirty diapers and tampons and whatever I want on that section of property. I can, I mean,
No, you can't litter.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I, thank you very much. I appreciate the time. It's very important. It's changed my life, this whole situation. And,
Cynthia, are you the town administrator now?
I'm still the interim town administrator. So I'm not the permanent town administrator.
Are they still looking or?
We're not gonna be looking for a while because it's not a great time of the year to look.
I was just wondering, I don't know if you missed it or. Yeah, got anybody yet?
Before we go, what would be the right way for Bruce to show you the survey work that he's done? Would it be to get on the agenda, or would it be to wait for a hearing? Could we request to be on next meeting agenda so you could
You
show
could be
you?
on the next meeting agenda. You could meet with Cynthia and go over that and she can present it to us, but I think I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth.
Can we request to be on the agenda then, so Bruce can show you his maps and calculations and?
My only concern about that is that, we are in the process of getting legal advice, and one of the suggestions that has arisen is that the town might, and this is the might, wish to not just have a lawyer, but to have somebody do research into this on our behalf.
Yep.
I mean, John Wright's survey was actually done for Red Mountain LLC, I believe.
Yes.
And that's what he found, but, and we have no reason to question it. Mr. Fleming has reason to question it. He needs to talk to John Wright, because I'm not gonna understand, just presenting it to me, even if I agreed with him, it wouldn't mean anything,
Right.
So I think if we have a researcher of our own, that might be, if we go that way, that might be the person to talk to. Or have, a meeting with him and with John Wright and the Red Mountain LLC at a hearing. Everybody needs to have a chance to be heard.
Yeah.
But I cannot consider myself.
Probably the best, thinking about it, probably the best way to do it is through a public hearing. And then everybody can present anything they want to present, and
Right.
it can be challenged or not challenged
Right.
or agreed with, whatever.
Right,
But that would probably be the best, because then all the parties are in the same room that are going to be dealing with it,
that's right,
including us.
that's right.
So
But we can't schedule that until we have
we have
our
to
legal
hear back
counsel
from our
settled
legal
and everything.
counsel.
Because we
And
want to
then you
have our
can
own legal
schedule that.
counsel, our own eyes on it, because we don't have a dog in this fight. We want everybody to
Exactly
be
right.
able to develop their property, use their property as they see fit. But the only thing we have is the laws and the rules and what the deeds say. And we want to make sure Mr. Wright expressed what he thought they said. Other people have different opinions, but maybe we need our own expert to look at it.
That would be, we would so appreciate that.
Because of the significance of this
Yeah.
for everybody involved.
And I can assure you, we won't make this decision lightly and without all the information we could possibly find. Because decisions made are only as good as the material and the basis they're based on. And incomplete information leads to bad decisions.
I appreciate
So-
that so much.
We
I mean,
will,
this is keeping us all up at night.
well, I'm not gonna say, don't worry about it, but
Right.
we won't make any move without everybody knowing.
Thank you.
Full
So
transparency.
we would be notified.
Yeah,
well,
I've got Oliver.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And you would be considered a party of interest anyhow.
Yeah.
Because of the proximity to the right of way and all of that work. So you would automatically,
All interested
By
parties will be
statute,
notified
yeah.
and welcome to attend and present whatever information you have or wish to present. So,
Thank you. And I invite you all, you can knock on the door, please come, we'll show you,
I know. I'm-
yeah,
I'm
we'll
not
show you
a
around, come
buyer,
see,
so-
come see our house, come see our property lines and see what it looks like.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
I have one.
Alex had one more.
question real fast.
yes,
Do I need to file an injunction to
Thank
stay
you. Thank you.
30
Thank you,
days over while I petition you guys, or is that? Because, I mean, obviously I have 30 days, so if I petition you, you gotta respond really quick. I mean, I'll follow the injunction anyway, but I'll add that.
I don't know.
I think that's probably the best course of action, because
I would-
it's already in legal counsel.
Okay. Is there any other public comment?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank you very much.
All right, the next item on the agenda is highways. There's a paving update. Paving project update.
So
Stormwater?
I contacted Peckham and told them they had the bid. I sent the letter to Springfield. And, Peckham is working, I think there may be additional contracts I have to sign or something, or if need be, Dan has to sign, we'll see when it gets. But I let them know immediately by email and phone so that they could start scheduling because of the whole short window.
Yep.
And I have, and so that is moving forward, and I'm gonna meet with Mark about that. I've informed the state that we will be doing that paving. It's not a state road, but and it will only just come up to the apron of 313 east and 7A, south. But I wanted them to know that we will be doing that project. So I've done that. So that's moving forward. And I did ascertain that we do in fact have sufficient funds in those various different places that we were pulling it from. So we do have that money.
you collaborated on
I
it.
did,
That's
I
awesome.
confirmed that, yeah. The Route 7A sidewalk project update, we haven't heard about this much. Remember, that's the big project, to do the sidewalk to the rec park.
Yep.
And we have state funding. We are asking for more state funding because, of course, it keeps getting more
Because of the
expensive.
delays.
But before we can move ahead with that project, which we hope might happen next year, the state wants us to kind of shave back the bank on the east side of the road. Because after you get past like the Windy Bed and Breakfast and then there's that driveway to the house on the hill, the bank is kind of curved outward and there's lots of brush on it and things like that. And it affects the line of sight for anybody using the prospective crosswalk to get from this side to that side. So the state wants us to shave the curved bank back so that it's flat, remove all the brush, there's some stumps, logs, whatever, and then seed it to grass. And so the combination of all those things will lead to a better line of sight. So the state has asked Arlington to do this ahead of time before we do the big project. And so, in consultation with Nick, who is the liaison for BCRC on this project anyway, so he just switched sides. I have done a sketch design. I met with Nick there. I consulted with Mark. We have scheduled this project for the 3rd of September, which is actually before our next select board meeting, because we've got several weeks here because of Labor Day. So that's scheduled for the 3rd of September. We will need to close a lane of 7A. It won't be any different from the utility work that goes on. I've obtained the services of Green Mountain Flaggers. I'm consulting with the state about it. I will be in touch with the landowners along there so they'll know about the project. It's possible I might ask the comments if we could stage in their driveway, but I don't know if that would be necessary. If it is, I'll ask that. So, that is, a relatively minor project. It's literally just shaving back the bank, but it will require equipment in the roadway and it'll probably take a day or less. And if
That's all within the state right away.
it's in this big way, we have the state permit to do it. We have all that stuff and
That's what I was gonna ask you.
yeah, no, we have the state permit to do it, and there's, the only thing that might defer the work would be some sort of weather conditions that made it unsafe. And we'll just knock on wood and hope that doesn't happen. Then truck update, Mark's not here. I don't know if he went over to Fairfield or not.
Thursday,
This Thursday.
this Thursday.
Okay, and then, the other thing is the covered bridge damage. Jamie, if you want to describe the situation, but I have an addition to your story.
Yeah, so yesterday morning, yes. Had been through the bridge a couple times, on about my 3rd trip through. I noticed that the boards that were just replaced and painted were scattered from one end of the bridge halfway down through the bridge. Way deeper damage this time than the last time, but the same style marks. There were some people at the bridge. I said, hey, did anybody happen to see this? And they're like, oh, yes. So it is our friends from across the border with the tubing company. And when they came through with their van and trailer, they obviously didn't go wide enough. And the trailer the trailer sustained significant damage. I have pictures. I have pictures of the bridge repaired prior and the new damage as well as where the boards ended up, etc. So as soon as I heard who it was, because I had just seen them go down the road, I contacted Dan and Cynthia and made a trip over and had a conversation with the owner, who spoke to his wife after some of their customers left. And she's like, yes, one of our employees had said that she had hit the bridge. Again, that was key to me. So, yeah, I have a ton of pictures, whatever we need, but I did contact Mike McDermott again. He actually contacted me today and I told him I had some more work for him on the bridge. He's like, really? I said, yeah, same boards.
Same board.
Same boards again, but this time we need to buy more boards and get them painted. The last time it took him about an hour and 45 minutes to get everything done with the traffic and to cut and fit the boards. So it's probably going to be longer this time because there is significant damage to the corner of the bridge, which will hopefully be addressed later on when we do our bridge repairs next spring. So, because they're going to have to get into the framing and stuff to deal with that.
If this damage was caused, if the framing damage behind that was caused because of this, it should be.
That it is right now, and I've got photos of that. Cynthia received a visit today from.
Yeah, Lisa Odie, one of the owners of Baton Hill Valley Outdoors, did come to see me. And, she did acknowledge that their trailer had struck the bridge. And she said that, they would pay for the cost of repairs. I didn't know what to do in terms of what to get in writing or what to do. So I just, I have her contact information and, if the board wants me to get something in writing from her, because, I have no idea what it's gonna cost. So, so all I have right now is for verbal commitment. And, my concern is I don't want, somebody to do all this work of repairs and then we send the bill to her and they don't pay it. So I would actually rather have the town pay for it and then we bill them for it. And possibly take legal action if we needed to. I don't think we would need to. I think they will pay for it, but,
They seem very up to paying for it, and they understood that they damaged that.
I know, and they really had no choice because of the witnesses.
I've got 3 witnesses.
Yeah, your participation, so they have no choice, but it could be that it's more expensive than they can expect, but they must have insurance, so.
Right.
I mean, they can't, they can't do this.
I mean, it is leaving the scene of an accident as well.
Interesting. That is an interesting point. Apparently more than once.
My recommendation is that we take a couple of the photos and prepare a letter that we send to them stating that per your conversation on August 18th.
Okay.
That you acknowledged that, Battenkill Valley Outdoors acknowledged in a meeting in my office that they damaged the bridge on the 17th and, include a photo on this corner of the bridge and you were agreeing to pay for the repair and any structural damage in that corner of the bridge that may occur. And that the town will be soliciting quotes or,
once it's
soliciting
repaired,
our maintenance
We'll
bridge maintainer to tell us what it's gonna take and we'll repair it and then we'll forward the expenses onto you.
Okay, then I'll prepare that letter. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do. So I just took, agreed with her and took the contact information and then I wanted to consult you. I do also want to say that, that I understand that it's really hard to make sure that, you're centered through the bridge and your trailer's not, hay wagons and it's hard because you're coming off 313, it's a sharp curve, but it's the responsibility of the driver to get that right. However, she did make a suggestion, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I don't know if it's even possible. She did suggest if we could put, like, cause the way it is now, it's like, here's the side of the bridge and the guardrail comes here. So the guardrail is outside where the edge of the bridge is. And so, she did suggest, could you put a post right in front of the actual edge of the bridge, like a cement
Like a
post or a
bow.
metal post? So that first of all, it would, if you paint, I don't know if we can or
Yeah,
not, that it would catch the initial impact and also it would be a visual clue, you gotta stay over. I'm just telling you what she
Yeah.
said. I don't know. if that
So
makes
I know
sense.
we did have this discussion in the past and Mark had talked about possibly moving the guardrails
We
into
talked about.
align with the inside of
Yeah.
the bridge more. But anything we do there is going to hinder snow removal. Because you
That's the big
can't
problem.
get into that corner. Willie, you've been down there. Getting into those corners with the plow and the truck, you can't, same with the truck. You can't cut it tight and clean it up because you're on an angle.
I
So
just know if I was pulling a trailer, I would not try to pull it through the
Go
covered
wide.
bridge. Like, I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Me-
so.
Swing by.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go. So another piece to that, and I've heard this from several people lately, is the brush that is growing up on the sides of the bridge again. Make it extremely difficult, and Willie can verify that, to see across the bridge to see if there's anything coming
Oh,
the opposite direction. A couple years ago,
On the
they,
313?
on the 313 side, a couple years ago, the guys went and they trimmed that all down. It has grown back up 10 feet high now, so it is, you can't see if there's something
Gotcha.
coming through from the other side. My wife has
That's us
been nearly
trimmed it? Or
head on a couple times.
That's us that
as-
trimmed it or the state?
We trimmed it the last time.
That would make sense.
It was the
if we
brush
did.
along the abutments is
Yeah,
basically what it is.
Because it's
And
off
that
the,
needs to be
even though it's
cleaned
probably
up.
in the state right away.
Yep.
It's probably still our,
We have this.
There it may not be because the bridge is back far enough
Yeah.
that it's
I
probably
think the
back
bridge
into
is back
ours,
so
but
far,
it's
not
probably
right
something
away.
to do with the state, with the waterway. But clear vision
Yeah.
is, safety is,
critical.
yep.
There's
So
a-
I'll
there's a-
mention that to Mark, ask him to do that, because there are other places where the state does not trim their right of ways
Correct.
until we
yeah.
do it, you know, so I'll.
Well, I think from a visibility standpoint, that we would fault
Yeah.
anyone for
Yeah.
doing that.
I just want to put a bug in everybody's ear, maybe, and I'm not saying this is a big problem, but maybe we should look at this a little more from a policy perspective. I would think that the Battenkill would, it's in their best interest to pay the bill, so if they didn't, we could revoke their use of the river. I believe they have to be permitted, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea the legalities of that.
Mhm.
I don't know
So,
that we could
But
do
if they had
that,
a
but we could
permit that allowed
certainly,
them to do this and they didn't pay the bill, we could
we could do
take action
something. I don't
that
know.
way.
I don't know what we
But
could
we
do.
should have a
There's
policy.
other avenues that were brought up to me, that I will discuss
Yeah.
in the other
That's
room.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't think they will
foresee
do
any
that.
problem.
I-
No, I think
I
I think they'll pay
Yeah.
I
because
think they will.
they were
Yeah.
clearly identified and
Good public
got
relations,
witnesses,
yeah.
and they did not deny any of it, so.
Right. So,
And the
I mean,
word
knock on wood, we
again,
haven't
we
had-
struck the bridge again,
Again,
rang loudly with
But I
me.
do think I had not even thought about the fact of possibly leaving the scene of an accident.
Twice.
well,
I mean, I
we
know
don't
it's
know the
not-
first time, but I mean.
No, but
it's
I mean, I know it's not
still-
an accident with another vehicle, but.
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
And I-
Struck and caused damage to a public building.
Right.
Yeah,
structure.
the only,
And
the
I-
only thing I'm thinking of as far as maybe we address it on a little bit higher level, I guess, is my experience with the Chiselville Bridge over the last couple of years.
Hmm.
There has been repeated structural strikes,
Mhm.
almost all the way through the bridge. Clyde Baker, they shut the bridge down for a day
Supposedly
and
new.
replaced 2/3 of the structure inside the bridge because
Mhm.
FedEx or whoever was
Yep.
hitting the thing and not stopping and reporting it. And people just happened to see them do it. And there was RVs that have gone through there. It's a mess, but I would hate to see that start happening.
Well, yeah.
Well, we already did a year ago when they ran into the side of the bridge and took the sign out,
Mhm.
the large sign.
Yes.
And that was 6 feet in the air and that got smashed off the side of the bridge.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
seems like
been
a
hit.
relatively new phenomenon though, after living here for so many
Yeah,
years, that in the
it's a
last
relatively
few
new
years, all of a
phenomenon.
Well, I
sudden,
do think
everybody's
that in
hitting the
terms of-
bridges.
In terms of the delivery, if it's delivery trucks, the level of the number of delivery trucks is
Is
vastly
radically
increased
I would agree
since
with
the
that.
pandemic. I
Yeah.
mean, vastly increased. So if they're the ones being careful, and some of them are small enough to go through, so it shouldn't be
Oh,
a
for
problem,
sure.
but
Yeah.
anyway, I think we're gonna have to think seriously about this and is there anything that we could do? The other thing that Lisa Odie suggested was that there are no lines on that apron. And if we had like a yellow line or a white line, coming
Yeah,
in.
that might be-
Now, again, if there's no line of sight, you can't tell if somebody's there or not,
Right.
but it might help somebody with a trailer
Sure.
to get over a little bit. But again,
But I
it's
think our bridge has a bigger opening than
Mhm.
Cheeseburg.
also,
which
there's a
contributes to that.
downhill.
There's
There's a
that
downhill,
dip
and that
into
makes it,
theirs.
so you can think you're small enough, but your ass is parked in the air, well,
Yeah.
sorry, anyway.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if lines on the ground down there would do any.
I don't
I
think
really
so.
don't.
I'm just telling
Yeah,
you
no,
what
no.
was suggested.
I think if anything, a 1/4 inch piece of plate steel painted the same color of the bridge on those inside corners,
Maybe that's the thing to do.
that
And
would,
then,
that's lagged in,
and then it's
so,
the vehicle that hits it that gets damaged
correct.
and not the
Like
bridge.
that,
I just didn't know
Yeah.
what was acceptable in sort of
Yeah.
the whole historic kind
We
of thing.
should investigate what other towns with covered bridges do for this problem, because I'm sure we're not the only one.
No, I just think
No.
Yeah.
for that bridge there specifically, you're coming off a very fast road. And a lot of
Yeah.
people have a lot of cars right behind them and they
Sure.
try to get off
We're trying to
fast.
get it off.
and-
they're just-
Yeah.
yeah.
There's just,
Because nobody,
you don't have a
people,
lot of.
I'm not saying nobody, but a lot less strikes happen coming through the other way, because you're going
Oh,
real
Oh,
slow.
for sure.
yeah.
And you're not
Nothing
like
straight
right.
on.
Yeah, and it's
It's
straight
Couple
on.
scrapes on
So
the
I
other
like
boards.
the idea of the
Everything's getting
steel.
hit.
If we can do that and paint it the same color, I like the idea of the steel, because to be constantly doing this is, even if we get people to pay for it, and we won't always, we
Right.
won't know.
You've got to get somebody there to do it.
Yeah,
Middle
no,
of the
I
winter, it's
like
gonna be
that
a lot
idea.
harder.
I like that idea. So,
Anyways,
okay. So
All
I
right.
think that's it for, the highway.
Okay. Public access, which I'm
think-
assuming we've
I
already.
think we
we
already,
dealt with.
we dealt with, I mean, those were the matters that I was referring to here, and we did it under public comment, which is
Okay.
fine.
That's fine. Project update.
Lily,
You're on.
Yep, today. Talked to Joe Charbonneau this morning. Asked him if he thought it was time. He said, pull the plug. Called Lori, Saratoga Sod, and asked her availability. This week is out. Next week, towards the end of the week, possibly. She has another little problem, is that because it's been 90 degrees for the last 3 months, she's lost some of her sod.
I can't imagine.
So she said we have one of the best irrigation systems going, and she said we're low. She knows, and of course, everybody knows that spring and fall is when that's supposed to be happening.
Sure.
So they've lost large amounts of sod. So she was gonna, she had a question. I told her, well, what we were looking for was, low cut bluegrass. And that was but from Joe. And then I said, look, I messed up on the last thing asking for, I said bent grass. And then all of a sudden she sent the whole bag with 2 guys coming to put it in. And the bent grass was almost 40 cents more. So I'm like, that's a lot, and grand scheme of it, I'm like, well, we need to get the right stuff. She sent that. And then I called Joe nervous. I said, I asked for the wrong stuff. He goes, no, absolutely no way. He says, call her back. I never heard back from her. I said today, availability on, and she goes, I can't believe that Joe would want that there. She said, only because of this. And I'm like, okay. She goes, I'm going to call Joe right now. And I didn't hear anything back the rest of the day. But as far as that project goes, hopefully she can call me back and say late next week. If not the week after, early.
Putting bent grass there, that was the whole reason to get the different mower and everything, right?
Well, yes, so if you get field grade bent grass, which is
Field grade
7/16
versus.
low cut. Bluegrass is a touch higher,
Mhm.
and with the bigger mower, it wouldn't be so hard for it to cut. But she said you're taking an awful chance on a course that's not equonic. She said they had decided that that was the best for this application. It goes better in the sun too. So that's what we kind of.
Well, I mean, they
Kinda in a
run the
bad-
grass, so I have to trust what they say.
Well, right, I mean, that's the thing, so, hopefully, I'll call her back in the morning and see, but as far as that, I've been down there, you know, I've weeded everything, cut everything close today, just gotta turn the trimmer up and cut it. I got, a rototiller that we can rototill. Joe said at any point in time, I said, well, if I can slam out this week, get a bunch of stuff done, then maybe I'll just take half a day and spend rototilling. We're gonna rake it, roll it, and then by then, you know, when they show up, basically, it's just a quick rake. They fertilize it, they seed it. BJ obviously said that night that we're welcome to use the brush truck to put the amount of water on it that we're supposed to put on it, which is a couple 100 gallons, 300 gallons a piece. But he says, Joe even said today, and he says, you might get away with like a week of that, saturating it once a day. He said, the one thing you're going to notice is that when that sod goes down with the fertilizer in that sod, you're going to be able to, you'll pick it up on the corners. He said, within a week, he said, you're going to feel like it's a piece of Velcro in there. He goes, then leave it. He said, by that time that everything has germinated, caught, and it's holding that stuff down. He goes, from there, you're within a couple weeks of firing a hole in the center of it and having it. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
I mean, it's within a phone call right now, really, for two, and saying go. So
Looks
very
like
excited
early
about
next
that.
week.
Happy to see the better weather, that's for sure.
Looks like it's gonna stay cool, and early next week it's supposed to rain, so.
Yep. Bonus. And he
Yeah.
said too, with the water, when the sprinkler's on, Joe said, with that saturation, once we get that in, so the timers are all set, just gotta hit on. When the guy was here to put the sprinklers in, he said, when do you want them set for? And I said, sod. He goes, got it right now. He set 2 for 4, 12, and 8, and then the other one is like 5, 1, and 9 for an hour. Joe says, you're gonna have more water. He said, that'll be so good for them. And he said, just, you know.
Well, once it gets saturated, right, you just keep it wet.
Keep
That's right.
it. He said, you should be able to walk across that within a few days. He said, even if you took your shoes off and you'd see the water coming through your toenails. So he said, that's what we're basically looking for, so that all gets germinated together. So that's where we are with that.
Okay.
So
Sounds good, yes.
So, this is something that covers both the park and the town hall, but because Willie's here, I just want to say that I heard back from that contractor, Jeff Jocelyn, and he wants to do our work on Friday. And that would be good because nobody's in this building today, so he can do that. And, he was talking about what they'll do for the bathrooms at the park is we'll close one bathroom and work on that and like have a unisex bathroom. And Willie will be there. We can make sure nobody gets surprised or whatever. But Mr. Johnson is concerned, like in the afternoon when there starts being games and practices, is the unisex gonna hold up? Is that gonna be good enough? So he was talking about coming back to do the second bathroom, Saturday morning. And if that's necessary, we can do that. I think there's a lot of benefit for having them do all the work on Friday when Willie's there, because he might be able to help. He might be able to, help with the traffic. I mean, I feel as if
Just wanna like get a porta potty for the time. that he's
I don't
doing
even,
that?
I don't even think that's necessary. I think they'll probably be done by 3 or 4. I don't know when the games start. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's up to the board. I can figure out a way to, let them in and get them working over there on Saturday morning if that's the best. So if it's all right with you, I'd like for me and Willie and Mr. Jocelyn to work this out as it's best. Like, I don't want to firmly tell them you got to do the whole thing on Friday, because what if they can't get it finished? Or what if there's too many people? It's like,
As far as
so-
practices go, I know, between myself and the girls' soccer team, it's 5 and 6
So we're in later in the day.
Oh, so that's just like not,
I don't know anything about the U10 softball. I don't know if they're practicing, if they have any games. I don't know that.
okay,
Not
well,
100% sure.
we'll work it out.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. But I just wanted the board to know, so inside this building, they'll be doing, Kristen's window and a couple of other small things. I'm gonna ask him to look at the front threshold. And it turns out that the threshold into the town clerk's office never got put in. I mean, I've noticed that a number of times. There's like this big gap.
Yeah.
And Robin showed me where she has all this wood that was cut for that and possibly for the front too. So it's possible Mr. Johnson would just have to look at that and then come back or something. It's possible he might be able to do it and just add it on. So I just wanted you to know that that's the plan right now. I'll be in touch with him this week and we'll finalize it. So something could still change, but I just wanted you to know that that's what's going on right now. And then also at the park, we did hear from a gentleman that we've had problems with in the past.
Absolutely not.
And I know I just have to report to the board, this is the person who changed things and did things to the field and didn't pay and all this kind of stuff. And I got an email and I didn't recall the name or anything. So I just said, contact Willie. And he contacted Willie and said, this is what I want to do. And he didn't even wait for Willie to get back to him. And he just came and started using the field. So, I feel as if my proposal would be that, that the select board, depending on the board's position, either we inform him that because of his past behavior, he cannot use the fields, or we say, do something like you got to prepay for everything, you got to sign stuff or whatever. And it's completely up to you what you want to do. But Willie should not have to deal with this. I want to contact the gentleman speaking for the select board and be able to say, you damaged the fields, you did not pay, you used the lights, you're not using the fields.
So this is the issue that we had back in the spring,
Right.
because he pulled all the base cores out, moved the bases back, never put the cores back, took off and left. Baseball and softball fields, he's already been down there. He pulled a bunch of stuff out, whipped it up against the fence,
Already? Now?
whipped all the weeds and everything down there.
Pulled-
Oh, yeah,
pulled-
put everything up against the fence already.
Why don't
So-
we pull the bags around?
Not the bags, but all the weeds or whatever he found, left a wicked pile against the fence, didn't even take care of it. But the fact of the matter is, he did not have permission yet.
No,
He has not been given permission.
I just told him,
So,
contact Willie, and he had not filled out a permit.
no,
He had not
no
done
forms,
anything.
no nothing.
Yeah,
He hadn't
well, then
paid
the answer
me.
is no, because you
Yeah.
didn't fill out the form.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
I don't know if he's got insurance, but I don't believe we ever saw anything from that either.
No.
And no, this guy, it cost me about 7 hours down there trying to reset the softball field,
I remember.
which cost the school a lot of money. And we still got to bring somebody in professionally to reset both
No,
those
I
fields.
totally remember that,
So-
but I did not,
Yep,
I did
so,
not feature the name when I
Um,
saw the email. I
but
just
yes.
thought it was someone asking to
Nope.
apply to use the field. So,
No.
so,
So,
if.
I will make a motion that we propose not allowing the Bombers to use the fields in Arlington.
I'll second that.
What happened there? I heard
He got
that.
kicked out of Bennington because he did the same thing down there, from what I understand.
He was there on Sunday. While I had practice.
Motion's made by Jamie and seconded by Matt.
And so all discussion, clarification on that is that, primarily, based on past history, as well as the fact that they have already gone to the park to use the fields without filling out proper forms or getting permission. So now, in my opinion, it's a no.
didn't say nothing about the insurance thing. I don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, right,
He's not
Yep.
followed any of the procedures
Nope.
requested,
correct.
so,
Persona non grata, I'm gonna go Latin on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Cynthia, you're gonna let them know that,
Let him know.
yeah,
I'm gonna write him, I'm gonna both call him and send him an email saying, you do not have any permission, you cannot use the park. And tell him why, and that's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then also on the town hall, just for, I think Jamie and, Glenn came late, we have a trash situation and we don't know why. It may be the community club clearing things out. It may be from the farmer's market. I know the community club had permission to use our trash receptacles. I don't know if Nick gave permission to the farmer's market. He very well might have, but I'm gonna contact them. I don't know what's going on, but Janet called them and managed to move our pickup date forward by a week. So they'll come on the 21st instead of the 8th or something like that. And we also have changed, we had some sort of weird thing where we were having recycling picked up twice a month, which makes no sense because we don't have much recycling, and trash once a month. She switched it. So for the time being, we'll have trash twice a month, recycling once a month. And if it turns out that it is just a farmer's market, then that's gonna wind its way up. And then we can go back to once a month. But if it isn't the farmer's market, I mean, Matt was saying we can always figure out a way to put a lock on the receptacle.
Didn't they have was it the last week of it?
No, we got a couple more weeks.
We got a couple of, I thought there was something about a barbecue or something like a,
And that might be, I don't know.
I think that might be.
There's also Norman's Attic
Possible.
coming up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but Norman's Attic is the church and they're gonna take care of their.
Right.
their
Yeah, I think
stuff.
there's 2
And
more
I'm-
weeks of
Yeah, and I'm gonna try to contact
farmers
both
market.
the community club and the farmer's market, just to be sure if it is them, because if
Yeah.
it's something else, then that's
Right.
another issue. And just,
So
so
make sure it's not people pulling in, and dumping their trash.
let's not even get that possibility out there, like you said. But I just want you to know that Janet did run that down and we're trying
Seems strange,
to
but-
deal with that.
Well, that seems to be the same MO that's going on at the cover bridge that Alex is talking about.
People are pulling up
The
their
fishing
trash.
people got trash receptacles and now there's household garbage getting dumped into
But
it.
see, that's why the church removed the trash receptacle.
Originally, correct.
Originally,
Yes.
yes.
Same as the park. Also.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Watching
It's
so many of those
unbelievable.
cans every week, we're just pulling full and I'm
Yeah.
going, I wouldn't mind, like leaving it, even if I let when the kids were playing, the girls were doing the softball, it's an easy target. And I caught one guy over there, he was trying to change his oil in the parking lot. He put his oil air filter, he had his other old oil cans and I drove over and I've seen him, like he was taking his regular trash out and dumping it. I was like, sir, you really are not supposed to be doing this. Isn't really, he says, it's a trash can. I said, yeah, for the kids that are using the softball field. I said, it's not for
Waste oil.
waste oil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One,
You have a little
Right.
picnic and you wanna throw something out.
right, and then I.
So it's like now we're at the point where we're gonna have to put the trash cans out for the game and then take
Bring
them
them in,
inside.
And that's what I've been doing the last two
Ridiculous.
games, when the Lux Brush or where they did the week before,
Yeah.
not this weekend, weekend before, like I went in, put trash cans out, changed them, so, because Sunday was the, U12 or U10, whatever, softball game that my daughter played in. I went back in, changed the garbage out, and even in that amount of time, like, they put their trash, but they did a good job cleaning up, really, for the grown-ups, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not bad, really. But I left the other metal cans in there and it was, because they're playing 2-3 nights a week and you're picking out household trash. It's nothing to walk in that little dugout, reach over there, and I try and put it as far as the corner, so, they'd have to spend more time, but it really doesn't matter. They're gonna do that.
It's really annoying.
It is annoying, and I said, we took down the amount of cans. The audience said, I said, I come in here on a Monday, and the cans that were generally in the little, like, tennis court parking lot, they would just take the cover off and just start stacking it. And I said, how are you gonna control this? And he was like, put a camera up. Wow.
We're gonna have cameras all over town
Yeah.
catching this.
Yeah.
So-
Trailers.
Yeah.
But we took those out
Yep.
and it slowed down. There was one old guy that kept coming in with his dog and every day he'd come in, he had bag garbage. And I watched him do it like 3 times, one straight. And I drove over and I said, God, sir, listen, we're not Casella. I said, if you want to start paying your fee, he lives in a place that collects the garbage. Up. I'm like, just put it in the dumpster. You can drive to the dumpster easier than what you're doing here. And he came to me this year and he goes, hey, how we doing? I'm like, good. hasn't much changed in 4 years, same guy. He goes, boy, you used to have cans out here. He said, it's nice, we could put our dog poo in it. And I said, yeah. And I said, well, we had nothing problem. I said, with people putting their household trash in. He goes, oh, I just hate that. And I'm like, you and me both, bud.
I ordered the dog bed.
Thank you. Thank you.
The one other thing I have for the park, with Willie and I have had some conversations and I brought it up with you the other night. We need to know what the school is requesting for the money that they donate to the park every year. What are they looking to get out of there? So we need something in writing, what they're looking for, what we're able to provide.
I forgot about
Is
that.
it just field maintenance? Is it trash pickup? Is it, I mean, we don't have storage down there, but there's baseball stuff still scattered about down by the baseball field. The soccer goals over the winter, how do they get stored? Where do they get stored? Who pulls the nets? So on and so forth, all that stuff. So we just really, it needs to be spelled out and so we have that.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of questions.
I didn't.
There's a lot of questions from the school side and from the town side.
So we should have like a memorandum of understanding.
Correct. Yep.
So I apologize, I'm putting this, that's on my list now,
Yep.
and
mean,
I'll.
The school did pay to have like $2,500 worth of that red clay brought in last year for both fields. The softball field and the baseball field. We are looking to do more. But it's also at the point, that's on top of the money that they had already given. So it's at the point where, all right, how much is the school going to provide that everybody else is using? I mean, when it comes to the soccer field, that's pretty much the school's deal. So
Because nobody but them uses.
we're the only ones really, yeah.
Okay, I think.
And we
I think-
save that for our fall athletes.
Did you put it, Willie did? Okay.
Did you put those up? Feel close? Yeah.
So I think that's a really good, it's a really good question, and I think it should be all spelled out in a written thing.
Correct.
Because it's really easy for one side or the other to be like, hey, I didn't get what I
So,
thought I
I
was gonna
mean,
get, and I don't want any bad feelings.
Yep. So, I mean, after ball games, I will say Reg was really good about walking down through even when we had the bleachers and making sure all the garbage was picked up. That's kind of lax the last couple of years, especially around the concession area. So that needs to be cleaned up and every night. And whether it gets out or if Willie is responsible for taking the bags out and putting them in the dumpster, or we just need that, we need that understanding of
Okay, I'll.
who's
do that.
responsible for what.
Yeah.
I'll take care of the trash.
Okay. So,
This was.
anything else for the park?
The only other thing is you mentioned cameras and I
I
brought that
still
up.
have, if you guys want it, I still have, I know Rainbow does it, just.
The trail cam?
Totally lost
Or-
track of it, for that
Yeah.
one on the trail.
Yeah.
I have one and I don't use it.
Yeah.
And you're more than welcome to use it.
got multiples if we're gonna try and do that, because they keep stealing, or they don't steal, but they keep pulling the bear
hide it.
crossing sign out,
Yeah.
stubbing it, and,
Culvert.
Yeah.
Way in the culvert, way up in the culvert, so you
But
can't see it.
my thought is don't put it back up for a while, wait a while before you put it back up. I don't even.
I was
know why-
actually
why
surprised
do you even
because
have
I was down, Willie and I were trying to find a pinpoint in the ground for the robot to use. And two people walked up and said, that bear sign's missing again. That is just, it surprised me that people look for it and.
But is it really a bear crossing?
It is a
It's just
state,
part of the walking trail.
it is a state corridor, a wildlife corridor that goes across the golf course and back over under Red Mountain from over here. And
Okay, I
This
get,
side.
I get that, I just, is there any other place we could put that sign?
well, the bears aren't gonna follow it then.
Is
They're
that,
not following it now.
is that actually is part of the walking path? So
It is.
from there, you're at 3/4 of a mile to go back to the tennis court starting spot. That was but they
That was a marker,
claimed it as bear crossing spot,
right?
the whole thing.
But it is it's a marker as well as a notification.
Right, right.
We need to have that.
You said, I don't know, it's on a 4x4, right?
It's on a 4x4.
So can you just,
So I would like to put it in the ground and put up a
Just
camera and
concrete
see what happens and then
It's gotta be the same group.
Yep,
It's not.
and then concrete it in Yep,
It's not.
and then concrete it in after we have some pictures.
After we have some pictures.
That's,
If I find out it's in the might be, but I'm pretty sure I could deal with it.
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
Other than
well,
that, thank you, Willie. Let me use the tractor for a couple days, so.
we'll see about, we may need to have trail cameras all over town, so, and I'm thinking that maybe the way to stop speeding is to have one of those things that takes a picture and sends you a ticket.
You and I are in disagreement there.
I figured that might be
I gotta drive a
true.
little fast sometimes.
All right.
In Germany, they call them flashers.
Hey, won't bother
Which
me
means something
none,
else here.
won't bother me none.
The Arlington Fire Department, pagers or?
My
didn't we
understanding
have-
is they ordered some pagers,
Oh, that's
they
13.
contacted me and got permission for the order and I approved it.
Just,
Okay.
just,
That's all I have.
I gotta be home.
Okay, you take
Okay,
care.
thanks, Willie.
Sorry.
So I don't have anything else from, I didn't hear from Brian, I just put it on, I do think the firehouse committee, there was,
He's in Sandgate tonight.
Brian.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was somebody that sent an email about the firehouse and I forwarded it to you guys. And I don't know, I don't even know what it was. I mean, it
I
was
was
somebody-
thinking about the firehouse committee. I mean, I think we're at a juncture now where we need to probably budget this for next year to bring in some sort of architect engineer to really evaluate the two firehouses, the highway building, look at the site plan that we have completed for the Dietrich lot, and then make some recommendations and get some high-level budgetary estimates. I really think we could have more meetings to talk about that could really just be an email at this point until we get that professional person or group in to do that work. And that is not something that we have dollars allocated for currently.
Right.
Yep.
But we can add that to the budget next year.
I think, and it's perfect time to have this conversation because we're coming up to budget
Coming up
season.
on
So I
budget
think
season.
that, the one takeaway that I may have from this conversation and talking through that is that it'd probably be worth reaching out to a couple different firms. There are some that are local that do stuff in the surrounding towns and just saying like, hey, we've got these buildings, we have this property, we have this site plan. How much do you think it would cost, high level, right, to do some work for us and give us some recommendations? That way we have a number to budget against,
Yes.
right? Because otherwise I'm just kind of sticking my finger up in the air and putting a number on the wall that may or may not be close.
Yep.
No, I like.
And
That's where we.
might be able to get a rough number relatively easily too. So I can take that as an investigatory as part of the firehouse committee to look into.
And if you can get a certain distance and then it's kind of too time consuming, if you want to hand it off
Yeah.
with me with explicit instructions,
Yeah.
because I think you'll be much more efficient at doing the initial locating and then I can
Sure.
do the legwork.
I
But
think
that
I
would
only
be
need
good.
to ask like one or two people, like what's a high level budgetary number to shoot for to do that kind of work?
Yeah.
And that's all we need, because then we at least have, like, I don't have an estimate to even go on
Yeah.
today, so.
Okay. I think that's a good plan to proceed with.
And I will
fine.
say that I don't know if I mentioned it at the last meeting, but we did have our mass casualty incident drill in
Yep.
Sandgate.
I saw the pictures.
Yep, very, very well attended, 6 fire departments, 6 EMS departments, LifeNet, helicopter. We had 19 individuals as patients. So it went really, really well. Very well attended.
Dynamite.
It
God
was-
willing, you never need.
I hope we don't ever need it.
But but you did it.
Yeah, and
Preparation.
learned a lot of things about the different situations that could arise in that area. So we were in the middle of the notch, so the same gate.
Oh, man, wow.
So access had to come from both sides
Oh my
because
God.
the road was
That's
blocked.
good. That's
So
good.
it really, really was a good drill for everyone.
Is there any additional things on the town hall report that I thought we
I think
covered?
we kind of covered that.
Yep.
All right, number 10 is the finances. Any comments or revisions to the draft 2024 audit? And the audit, or the approval of RH Smith contract for 2025?
So,
Two separate things.
so what, we've had the, draft materials for maybe about a month now, and Christian and I have gone over them and developed questions and asked questions and gotten answers from the firm. I'm not gonna say that I understand it. My choice not to become an accountant has been confirmed as a choice. And even when they answer our questions and explain why they did what they did, I get stupider after I read it. So just really difficult stuff for me. But I'm understanding more about the finances of both the water department and the town, and that's really good. So, so I don't, I've asked the questions that I had. I really didn't hear anything from the board. It's pretty much the same kinds of stuff we've been getting. There's no surprises, no sudden ups or downs. I think we're good to go. So I would ask them to go ahead with their 2024 audit. I would request that we sign the contract for the 2025 audit. Christian and I are responsible for signing the approval of the 2024, and she and I will both sign that. So, so I think we're good to go.
Do you need a motion from the board?
I don't think so,
Okay.
because we are actually listed with them as the authorized people. So they
Okay.
specifically
All
want
right.
our signatures, but this is the
That's
board's
fine.
chance,
I'm good
So
with that.
the only question I would think I would come up with is,
Okay.
we have a couple of our local accountants sitting here talking about having all our money in one location. If we should really diversify and spread that out or not.
I remember that, and I remember thinking about that, and I don't remember if I ever asked Christian about that or not. But I will now. I've got it on my list here. Because my understanding is that how that money is kept is the purview of the treasurer, but of course she works for us, so we could, instruct her
We
what to
should
do.
investigate that because.
We don't want to leave money on the
I think-
table. I mean,
well, we don't want to risk money that's.
right, we don't want to
True.
be
Yeah,
above the FDIC, but also if some of the sinking fund money could be in a CD. Now, I know we borrow that, so we want to be careful, but even if you just put 200,000 or 100,000, that's still 4,000, 8,000 that you wouldn't have. $8,000 is a lot of money for us.
Mhm.
So, so I will pursue that with her, because
I think that was the only question looking through
Yeah,
things that I
no,
saw.
that's a good.
And
I
just
think
listening
that's-
to
Yeah,
our local experts.
Yeah.
That's a valid concern, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did consolidate all of those capital reserve funds,
right.
but it doesn't mean that we can't still use them the way we've been using them.
And also you can
We're
have,
just putting them in split accounts so that we're spreading them around.
right, and you can
Different
have a
balance,
six,
different-
you can have a 6-month CD and
Yeah.
make some money. I mean, it
Sure.
doesn't have to be
Yeah.
tied up for a year, because
Right.
we do need access to the
3
money for a
months, 6
variety,
months.
so. Anyway, so I will definitely, pursue that.
And some of those rates right now, I think you can easily find a 4%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, so.
and that's significant, so. Number 11, wastewater committee report.
So I will have, a written memo, for the board. We did have our wastewater meeting last, Thursday. Thank you to Jamie and Matt for being there. And some of our civilian members were there, and some of the consultants. And, it was very productive. We are still in a situation where we don't have immediate prospects for actually starting one of these in-ground community, regional localized septic systems, but we still have some possibilities. But what the board ended up with is that we want to move forward with trying to have the program to encourage people to pump their septic systems every 3 years. It turns out that we can't immediately start using the school system for disposal of the effluent, partly because we don't have an agreement with the school, but partly because there would have to be a holding tank there, in order for the solids to settle out before, and so there had to be work. So I'm gonna write a letter for the school, giving them an update, and I'm gonna write a memo for the board. But the committee really wants me to come back with a proposal, for the community septic, pumping program, even if it's only in an encouragement form, where we may or may not have discounts to offer. So I'm gonna seek to do that, and also to try to prepare some educational materials on that. And then this is an area where there are some legal property things to discuss, and so we can wait for the executive session.
Okay, do you have anything for the TA report besides what you?
So I need to formally give you guys my resignation letter from the board, which was in effect, today. And Janet already has a copy and has filed it. But I just needed to, give it to the board.
Okay.
Or maybe she doesn't have a copy. We'll give her that copy. I'll give her that copy.
Yeah, we give it that copy.
So,
So, and just for the public's clarification, Cynthia is our interim town administrator officially on through January-ish. We'll see what happens leading up to town meeting at this point. So, hence her resignation. Yeah, hence her resignation from the board. So I would make a motion to accept the resignation of Cynthia from the select board to take on the expanded role as interim town administrator.
Okay. Motion made by Matt and seconded by Glenn to accept Cynthia's resignation from the select board and take on the interim PA position. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we thank you for your service.
And thank you for your expanded role
Yes.
in
I only tried
the
to vote once, so.
town administrator position. And we know that you're going to do a great job servicing and the constituents of Arlington in that new position. So thank
We'll
you.
give it a shot. And for people that I was talking to, I did tell them that the board I didn't know what the board wanted to do in terms of a reappointment, if you want people to apply or whatever it is. But if we want to do that, we might want to somehow get the word out. I don't know what the board.
Well, I think the last time before you appointed me, you had a sign out front, right?
I did.
Just like the
Put it on the
standard.
sandwich board out there.
Yeah,
And then we can
people
appoint
can,
to fill a position until the next election.
Yeah, see,
So
like we
let's get a
actually have
letter
news and GNAT's not here.
I know, right? And they're not even on there with the recording. Yeah, I mean, people solicit letter to the town, right? And-
Yeah.
You can also put it on the website.
Yeah,
If you wouldn't mind, just so we're not kicking the can down the road too much, let's put on the agenda for the next meeting, the discussion of updating the website.
that's the next thing on my little list is I'm taking
Okay.
things off, going down we got the
it there for a
phone,
little
we got
while,
the
but-
internet taken care of, we got the
Yep.
trucks taken care of.
Check 'em off.
Checking them off as we
All
get
right.
on the list. But yes, I think that's a good,
just
I can
add-
write a sample RFP
Yeah.
for next meeting.
All right, all other word business, actually, we have 13A that we added to the agenda.
The warrants,
Oh,
Warrants.
that's right.
the warrants, we need to pay the
And
bills,
also, I didn't
folks.
know if you needed to say a few words about this.
I did give everybody, RFP responses for the Arlington Water Department and the collections topic that we spoke about, so you can review those. And, I think it would probably be prudent, you will see in there is a copy of the RFP that went out. There is my scorecard on the right-hand side at the top. I've read all of them. I went ahead and scored. You're welcome to go and do your own scoring as well. And the 3 respondents are attached in order of my preference in there. So that is my opinion and my preference. But you're welcome to look at those. And it would be my suggestion that we have a quick water department meeting at the next select board meeting, which would be
September
the
8th.
September 8th.
maybe we do that at between 7 and 7:15, just to award one of those to send some problematic attempts.
And, is this
will not be at
Josh's
that
or?
meeting.
I put his in with
Okay.
the thing.
Is that
That
yours?
one you can
Is this
keep as
mine?
town administrator, okay?
I will not be at the September 8th meeting.
Okay. If you have anything beforehand that you want us to.
Yeah, I'll touch base with
Yeah,
him.
just-
I played arts and crafts. As I always do. All right, so that, is there anybody else have anything else? That was the only
Don't
thing.
think so.
I might bring up.
If you
Yeah.
have something, we'll put it under all of
Well,
them.
we've got personnel, legal, and property headed on in there, so we're covering it all tonight. All right, warrants. We have check warrant report WD 17 for the Arlington Water Department. Biggest item on here is just our power bill for the South Road building. Other just standard testing and fuel and such nature. Check warrant report WD number 17. I would seek a motion to approve in the total amount of $2,310.34.
Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Jamie to approve check warrant report WD 17. Total amount of $2,310.34. All those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Any opposed? Carries.
All right, and that brings us to the town of Arlington, check warrant report number 16. Let's see, Green Mountain Power, BCRC for the Route 7A sidewalk payment. Lane Enterprises was a significant amount, and that was for our CL2 and CL3 culverts. Some diesel fuel that we needed. Our Smith audit work, their invoices in here for their work. Some solar fees and top coat applicators for striping. And that brings us to, I will make a motion to approve check warrant report number 16 in the total amount of $39,280.32.
Second.
Motion made by Matt, seconded by Jamie to approve check warrant report number 16. Total amount of $39,280.32. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Executive session is for personal, legal, and property items.
So
Motion to establish the reasons.
I'll make a motion that a premature discussion of personnel, legal, and property matters would cause the municipality to suffer substantial disadvantage. Second.
Motion made by Matt and seconded by Glenn to establish the reason for the executive session as personnel, legal, and property matters. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
Aye.
And I will make a motion to enter into executive session for said discussion of personnel, legal, and property matters, and to allow Town Administrator Browning to remain in the room. Second.
Motion's made by Matt and seconded by Glenn to actually enter into executive session to address the personnel, legal, and property matters. All those and allow interim PA Browning to stay in the room. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. All right.
So now.
Janet, we can tell you what time we adjourn if you'd like. You can have.
Yep, that'd be great. Thank you.
You have the rest of the evening off with pay.
Thank you.
Thanks.